Welcome to Mansion Global. Behind me is Villa Serena, built in 1913. It's been meticulously restored. It's one of two homes on this 4-acre estate, a true piece of Miami history. There is enormous amount of ground to cover in this home. There are 3 beds, 4 baths, an open living space, a marble-clad kitchen, a private office, and immaculate Cuban tile throughout. There's plenty of room for all of your guests to stay comfortably. This will give you 150 million reasons to throw a party. Ashley Cusack is a Florida native. She jumped right into the real estate world as soon as she graduated college. Ashley has ascended to senior vice president while making time to volunteer and give back to her community. This makes her the perfect agent for this property. Ashley, it's so wonderful to see you.
It's great to see you too, Katrina.
So over 100 years ago, when people were first discovering Miami, they chose this area. Why?
Well, they called this Millionaire's Row because obviously they were so aware of the weather and the storms, and this is 15 feet above sea level. This is a natural bluff that we sit on here. I think that was one of the most important, but also the stunning views and the bay breezes. You know, there was no air conditioning back then, so all that was very important, and they took that into account. And you look right down the street where Vizcaya, James Deering built his magnificent estate there. And so it's just, it was where the wealthy of the wealthy came to settle in Miami.
And this particular home has so much history behind it. Tell us a little bit about that.
This home was built in 1913 by William Jennings Bryan, who was Secretary of State, and he ran for president 3 times. He was known for his oration. He was kind of a preacher of sorts. There's pictures, lots of pictures of him with just all these people gathered here that he would be, you know, kind of preaching to.
And Miss Arch purchased the home, and she herself is very well known in the community for her philanthropic efforts and so forth. When did she purchase it?
So she finished it around 2012, so she purchased it just before that. And it was going to be torn down by many people that were, you know, looking at it. And I think she just thought that was such a shame to lose this beautiful historical piece. So she painstakingly spent millions on this beautiful renovation that she did. And then she took it to the historical board and had it on the National Register of Historic Properties.
What does it mean when a property is designated historic?
It means they can't take it down. This will be a piece of Miami's history forever, which I think is so important because we have such beautiful original architecture and we've lost a lot of it. So her doing that really was just something important and special.
Well, it's so special to be inside her homes and just the history behind it, being a Miamian as well. It's really such a treat. So thank you so much for allowing us to tour these properties.
Yes, my pleasure.
The foyer entrance, adorned by 2 double staircases, welcomes you into this great room. You have Cuban tile throughout, which is just a bit of the historic value that you have in this home. You feel the old world charm. The formal dining behind me, the comfy area by the fireplace. You have not 1, but 2 sunrooms, both overlooking wide open bay views. 405 feet on the water. The home is over 100 years old, but you would never know it because it's been completely renovated. Walking into the master suite, you're greeted by a fireplace and an office. And then it leads you to a very large master bedroom, which is not very typical of old world charm. Then you have not 1, but 2 Juliet balconies, one overlooking the gorgeous garden and the other Biscayne Bay. As I walk in the master bathroom, the first thing I notice are all of the windows which allow so much natural sunlight to come in. It's perfect for us ladies, for our hair and makeup, but it still allows a sense of privacy because of the mature vegetation surrounding us. You'll have dual vanities, a vintage soaking tub, and a shower covered in marble. Villa Serena is filled with old world charm. It has so much history, and yet it has all of the amenities that you need for today's living. And it's here to stay. As we explore more of this beautiful estate, we'll speak with the owner and icon, Miss Arched, after the break. We're traveling to one of my favorite vibrant cities, Miami, Florida, to set foot in a tropical paradise. This house is unique because it's connected to Miami's earliest roots. The philanthropist owner is committed to a record-breaking number. That would make it the most expensive single-family property to ever hit the market in Miami-Dade County. This is the most updated area of the home. You have a butler's pantry, marble everywhere, white cabinetry, and then it leads you to the gourmet chef's kitchen. The kitchen is tucked away, it's unseen from the formal dining and living areas. Which is very much in line with the old world charm of the home. There are 3 bedrooms in this home. We're in one of the guest bedrooms. Let's talk about all the traditional features. You have a fireplace, pitch ceiling, amazing views. But what I love are all of the secrets. What do I mean? This bathroom, for instance, it's an ensuite, but it's also a Jack and Jill, which connects to the other guest bedroom. But my favorite secret of all, the connecting door. It connects to the master. So for those parents who want to check in on their kids, this is it. The ocean breeze that you feel on this 4-acre estate with 405 feet on the water is unmatched. But what I love most is the coral rock feature. It's integrated into the landscaping. You have an actual staircase. This is impossible to replicate again. The sense of tranquility that you feel here is beyond measure. And we're lucky enough to meet the woman behind all of the tranquility. Adrienne, I am so grateful to be here with you today. You are such an inspiration. The city of Miami obviously has a very special place in your heart. Not only because of your generous donation to the Performing Arts Center, but your commitment to it. Why Miami? Why not any other city?
I ended up in Miami because that's where we had a family bank, which we acquired in 1986. And I came down to run it in 1996.
When did you decide to become a philanthropist?
I don't know that I decided to be, but I certainly learned about it from the time I was a very small child. In December of every year, my parents and my sister and I would get together and sit down, and my father and mother really had allocated funds to give to charity at the end of the year. And we would vote on which charities got what. And so it's been a basic part of my life.
And the estates are currently on the market for $150 million. And you've said that you're going to donate everything to charity. What do you hope happens with the donation?
I don't know specifically where it's going. The funds will be donated over time to projects and things about which I'm deeply committed.
And when you decided to build Indian Springs, how did you decide on the type of construction, the style of home?
I did really want to reflect Vizcaya to the extent that the land that I had was first built on in about 1913 at the same time as Vizcaya.
And then later on you acquired Villa Serena, but you renovated it as well.
Yes, that I did. The tiles on the first floor and up the stairs are all original. The owners went to Cuba, actually, and picked out the tiles at those times.
You did an excellent job. The first thing I noticed, my parents are Cuban, are the Cuban tiles.
Yes.
Because it's so difficult to recreate that. It's impossible nowadays. What is the most extraordinary moment, would you say, or memory that you had living at the estates?
What really comes to mind is when the great violinist Midori was my house guest for about a week. She wanted to rehearse a show that she was taking on the road with Jean-Yves Thibaudet, the great French pianist. So they both stayed at my house, and Midori stayed at Villa Serena. And in the morning, she'd walk from one house to the other with her multi-million-dollar violin, just like a backpack.
Spectacular, I can imagine, wow. Thank you so much for your time, for letting us tour the home. You're a gift. You won't want to miss this incredible compound and the history that lies inside it. All that and more awaits us at the gates of property number 2 at the Arched Estate after the break. The primary residence, Indian Spring, was constructed in 1999. It was meant to be the main residence before the acquisition of Villa Serena. The estate is made up of 2 homes, Indian Spring and Villa Serena. The 2 structures combined have over 25,000 square feet of living space. Each has breathtaking views of Key Biscayne, downtown Miami, and the soothing waters of the bay. Even though it's $150 million, the buyer can rest easy knowing that every penny will be donated to charity. All you have to do is sign on the dotted line, and this record-breaking sale will be a gift that keeps on giving. The minute you walk inside this gracious foyer, you feel like a queen. It exudes sophistication. You have views of Biscayne Bay that go on forever. A spiral staircase, marble throughout, a chandelier. You just feel like royalty in this house. Off the entryway, we are greeted by a formal living room, which also has views of the lush landscaping, the pool, and Biscayne Bay. These formal living areas are very characteristic of this style of home. There's various different areas to entertain, yet they all flow together very nicely. Thankfully, we still have Ashley Cusack with us. She holds the listing. Ashley, it's so wonderful to see you and to see you at this property, which is so newsworthy on so many levels. Tell us about it.
It's amazing. This is 4 acres sitting on Biscayne Bay, and I love that there's nothing disrupting your view. I mean, Key Biscayne is miles away, and that's the first thing you see. 2 spectacular homes situated on this with 405 feet on the water. So it's just something in Coconut Grove that you can't find.
Well, it's really a treat to be on this street because growing up in Miami, this is where Madonna lived. This is where, you know, the rich and famous live.
Yes.
Do people view it as a trophy property? Do they want to keep the property? Do they want to tear it down, renovate?
I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything. We have 2 properties, 2 homes here. One is designated historically, which is really special. I've had both. I've had people that thought they were going to come and renovate, and do a new home, and found this to be just so enchanting that they wanted to make this work.
So the price tag jumps out of the screen with this property, but what else makes it so rare?
I think we have to start with the land. Honestly, to find over 4 acres in Coconut Grove on Biscayne Bay without any disruption of view is unbelievable. It's 405 feet on the water. You can sometimes find a little bit on the bay, but this is just the most gorgeous spanning view that you've ever seen. On this property, they do have a tennis court that is lit, which you can't get anymore, but they've put it at the front of the property. So when you you drive in, you don't even notice it, but it is there. These two homes are just beautiful.
Well, this is such a special home. I can't wait to take a look around.
Thank you.
The primary residence of the estate, Indian Spring, is a 5-bed, 9-bath, grand scale home. It features a 2-bed, 2-bath guest house above the 6-car garage. Its setting and size are sure to draw in the most sophisticated buyers. When I show my clients older homes, ones that are in need of major renovation, it can be hard for buyers to see past the seller's personal taste. Not here. This place is ready for a buyer to call home. The sunroom embodies the English style of the home. It's the ideal spot for tea, biscuits, and intimate conversation. The elegance in this room is timeless. The formal dining room has comfortable seating for 20. It's the perfect spot to host a dinner. You have hardwood floors, a gorgeous mural, chandeliers, 4 doors leading out to your covered terrace, and let's not forget about these elegant mirrors which just exude sophistication. Get ready for the outdoor space to take your breath away after the break. The Arch Estate is a completely renovated historic residential compound. It sits on 4 acres in Miami, Florida. I made it up to the 3rd level of the Bayview sitting room, where I took in the views. But let's head back down to the 2nd level where more opulence awaits. The attention to detail extends into the hallway, which connects the master with the guest room. And look at the handcrafted cabinets. And let's see what's inside. Ironed tableware. People just don't do this anymore. You have class everywhere in this house. And the hallway also has views of the interior courtyard, so you can see your guests even before they arrive. This estate isn't just for entertaining guests. It gives you a room fit for royalty. The 2nd floor primary suite has 2 private balconies. You could see Key Biscayne all the way from here. Handcrafted ceilings, a matching chandelier, custom drapery, hardwood floors. The elegance expands to the exterior. This pool area feels like you're in a boutique hotel. Hand-painted tiles surround the pool. But my favorite feature are the 2 half baths down the steps. It's the perfect spot for a soiree or fiesta. Indian Spring is one for the books. After exploring the home and feeling how regal and exquisite it is, I understand why so many prominent people have not only stayed here, but why it's fetching its price tag. What an episode. It's the first time on Mansion Global that we've covered one estate with 2 properties, and for good reason. It's regal, it's sophisticated, there's so much history. This is a Miami icon, and while the list of people who could actually afford it is very short, the impact that it will make is immeasurable.